Hello and welcome back to the TheDropOutDragon. Dark Souls 3 is finally out. English version. Everybody's got it. And not all the super elitists like me were running around the Japanese version pretending to be able to read moon runes. That was an experience. But it's finally out, and I thought instead of just going into a weapon showcase or anything like that, I would talk about how I feel about the game so far. And to summarize in the beginning, I've already recorded something that I wasn't happy with because I started to ramble. But to summarize everything I feel like we have a good game. It does have variety, way better than Bloodborne. I can actually make content about it. We can do a bunch of things and have the discussions about mechanics or weapons or, anything that pops up in the game. I will ask you as a viewer to check the date on this video. The English version of the game has only been out for 3 days. So the patches that are going to be coming out will change what I'm going to say. They will. I'll have some complaints. I'll have some positives that might change in the future. So please check the date first. I don't want a repeat of my Dark Souls 2 videos where I said certain things that aren't true anymore, and people were like, "Duh, what, are you an idiot?" And then they never check the date of the video. So please do that. So let's talk a little bit about this build. This is a quality build real quick. It's 110. I don't want to talk about a meta. This is a 110 build because it works at 110. That's it. That's all there is to it. I could go higher. It could be a little bit lower. The meta is where it's at. I don't know what the meta is. No one knows what the meta is. People are kind of staying in between 100 and 125. If you want to call that a meta, you can. But there's no actual real number yet. So bear that in mind. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I know a lot needs to be tested before we start really getting into it. So let's not do a meta discussion. I'm sure later we'll have one, but for right now, just enjoy the game. Play it how you want to. There's a lot of variety to choose from. A lot of testing that needs to be done with infusions, weapons, damages, and all that. So let's try to just have fun first before everybody gets real elitist about what SL everybody should be playing at. So let's start with the first thing I want to praise in this game while we go and hopefully pick somebody up. Let's start off with matchmaking. Matchmaking works in this game almost too well. You'll see me start summoning dark spirits and things like this will happen. These people have already been picked up. There's tons of hosts that are willing to pick people up. There's tons of signs all over the place, and you'll have a huge selection to choose from. There was a double kill in my last fight, so let's pick up my souls. It is very, very, very well connected. Lots of people. There's a password system that works. It kind of scales you down depending on your level. If you guys are the equal level, it'll work. If you guys aren't at equal level, it'll scale or upscale or downscale somebody. We don't really know how well that works, but it does something to somebody's character, and it's kind of fun to know that anybody at any level can co-op or PvP with another person and say, hey, I might be level 110 and you've just made a character that's like level 56. I'll help you through this area, and that person will not just trash the whole area or trash any invader or whatever because they've been scaled down to more match the host, which is a lot of fun. I'm really happy that they did that. So the password system works. People are connecting. People are coming into fights. There's fight clubs and whatnot. So that's a vast improvement from Bloodborne. I remember a time a German spy did a stream where he said he would co-op with anybody who wanted to, and they had a password. Like 500 people watched that stream, and at least 100 of them were trying to match up with Spy, and it was about 30 minutes of co-op. It took that long to connect. So we've already got and that was after all of the patches to make the matchmaking better. That was after all of them. So that was ridiculous. That's unforgivable. And here we are now with a game that actually has good matchmaking. So good job, guys. We don't actually know how covenants work matchmaking wise. I know the Sunbros make you match up with a little bit more people. You can be a Sunbro as a red. So we don't know, but we don't know how much it is. So there's a lot to be learned in that regard. If you guys want to comment in the video and talk about it a little bit, then go ahead, because maybe we'll all learn something together. Hopefully you can confirm your info. Citation needed. Oh good, we have a chugger because he's upset. That's good. Healing, it happens. I don't really hate it all that much. I mean, I prefer if it didn't happen in duels, but some people are a little butthurt sometimes. Every time you heal, I feel like you admit you got outplayed. So it's all good. That's all right. I've already won this fight in my head. That's because I'm a super elitist, honor fuckboy. So there's that. Invaders can heal. I do like that mechanic because it seems like it makes the fights last a little bit longer. He really wants a parry. It's cute. I'm not sure he'll get one, but that's me. That's me. Already ranted about the game. We already got this. I'm just gonna keep punishing you with running attacks because you're just gonna keep spamming parries and not know what the hell you're doing. That's totally fine by me. And you've got less Estus than I do, so I'll go ahead and heal on you at some point here. Let me just casually switch over while you desperately try to do damage to me. Oh, come on, parry. Oh, you don't want to do that? Oh well, we've already gotten into the shit talking bit, haven't we? Yeah, he doesn't know what to do. He keeps kicking. He's just having issues. Oh, come on, buddy. Oh boy, you can see. I'm sitting here praising this game and talking about how good it is, and then we get fights like this, like right off the bat. I had a 2-hour recording session that went really well, and I didn't have any problems. But let's put him in the corner and just be like, yeah, there we go, there we go. So yeah, corner OP. Thanks for the fight, buddy. That was a real fun fight. Oh well, that happens. So matchmaking does work, and I'm really happy with it. So let's talk about weapon balance real quick and how I feel about it. One of the things that surprised the hell out of me right off the bat is I'm not offended by katanas. I like the katanas. They don't have some crazy critical hit / counter hit multiplier that they did in Dark Souls 2. That's gone. They do relatively decent damage. They have a fun move set. It's a little slower on the R1s than maybe the straight swords and the S-Dogs. I'll get to S-Dogs in a little bit. Oh my god, the rapiers. But the katanas, they don't offend me. They're fun. They have cool weapon arts, a little bit weeaboo, but hey, here's oh, look at me. Ashitaka. Tarakuri. A lot of that going on. So I think they're kind of neat. Kind of varies it up. It's good for roll catching and kind of that thing. So that's fun. But I'm not offended by katanas. Straight swords, they're pretty good. They do a lot of damage, surprising amount of damage. I'm sure that'll be tweaked down just a little bit. But they are very good at applying pressure, and a few of them are, I would say, a little bit stronger than the rest. Like the dark sword is noticeably stronger than the other straight swords and has a lot of range. And a lot of people are confused by the range of the weapons catching people in the rolls. Confusing it for lag, and that's not the case. It's just that's a free backstab. Thanks, buddy. And a lot of people are confusing that for lag, and it kind of can sometimes seem that way, but it's really just the range of that weapon is a little longer than it should be. So we'll see how that goes out. I'm sure somebody will correct me and say, no, it's this. Somebody made a video about it, and I hope they do, because then we'll learn. All right, that was a dead angle right there. It's very few weapons can do it, but that went behind my shield and it got me, which is good on him. Go ahead and punish that attack. Oh, he died. I didn't think he'd die. GG. So we have to know too, as players, we're all growing. I'll give you some examples of things that I thought were really bad at first, and then as I grew as a player, I now know how to deal with, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm trying not to go everywhere. It's very hard to do this live and talk and be like, okay, we're going to talk about 8 different things all at once while I'm fighting. A little bit difficult, so bear with me. I don't weapon balance. I think the 2 biggest things that annoy me the most at this time are rapiers and great shields. Great shields have an amazing amount of stability, and they can just get in your face and pressure all day, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. There are kicks in this game, but they are not auto breaks. I say that again. They are not auto breaks. They are not like Dark Souls 2, where you could guarantee a guard break no matter what shield they were using with the little backhand thing. In this game, kicks do a static amount. It seems a static amount. Maybe that changes with your level, but they do a set amount of stamina damage. This can be boosted with a certain ring that I do have. I'm not using. But the boost is not that significant, and it's very disheartening to walk up to a great shield kick 3 times and then them have not they're not guard broken, and you're like, okay, well, why the hell do I even have it? And it feels it's very bad when that happens. You don't really know, and because Dark Souls 1 pivots are not so much of a thing in this game, it's very hard to punish those kind of players. So a lot of work needs to be done in that area for this game. We need to learn a lot about these things. When it comes to rapiers, they're very, very spammy, and they can apply more pressure than any weapon in the game, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it, which is sad. This guy wants to parry my running attacks. That's probably the best idea. I hope he keeps it up, because I will try to punish it and show you guys how to actually punish an attack like that, or punish a parry like that. Maybe he'll do it, maybe he won't. Hopefully we'll get it right in his animation. No, wouldn't do it. So you guys kind of get the basic premise. It's not working because he's using a very fast parry weapon, but normally with a shield I would have gotten the backstab. You can kind of pivot and parry. You can kind of pivot their parry and punish that moveset, and I'm about to... Nope, I'm not. Oh, he got that dead angle when I went for the backstab. It will happen. It's rare, but it will happen. That weapon is good at it, but very one trick. Oh. 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 And I'll go ahead and hit him right that. So you can whiff a backstab. Let me cover that real quick, just so, because you guys just saw it happen. You can whiff a backstab, but your blade can still hit the enemy on the whiff, and instead of dragging them back like a teleport into a backstab, it just does a little damage, which I have no complaints about, because it's kind of punishing somebody from forward rolling into you, trying to do a backstab, or away from you in a direct line. It's very good to roll to the side when you know somebody's backstabbing you, because that whiff can still connect and do decent damage. So watch out for that, and that confused the hell out of him, I'm sure, when it happened. I don't know if the whiff can be parried. I don't think so. I don't think there's any weapon fast enough to, or any shield fast enough to parry out of a roll recovery and then do it. I don't think that's going to happen. So, but back to weapon balance. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. This is what happens. This is why I was nervous about making this video. Weapon balance, I see these two things as being like the worst things to run into, is a rapier or a great shield, or God forbid both, which has happened. It is scary when it happens, and I cry a little on the inside. It makes me very upset. I need some repair powder so I don't have to go back to the bonfire. It happens, and it makes me cry on the inside, because it's so good, and there's not a whole lot of ways to punish it at this time. So you'll have to get used to, running into that. Maybe we'll find some counters to it. I know trading better than them is, I guess, a counter to it. I mean, if you use some of the weapons that have like a really quick rolling attack and do damage. And see, now we have somebody who's using a rapier, and I'll show you. So he's putting on pressure, and I'm going to try to trade. He's not doing it fast enough. There are people who have seen it happen, and they've seen like videos on the rapier, and they say, oh, I've got this. I can do this. And then they don't. But see, right there, that was a bad idea on my part. I thought maybe he'd put his shield up. Nah, he knows he can just punish anything. So he's just striking and striking and striking. Turtle poking in this game, not so good. That turtle poke he just did there, not so good. It lowers... See, the amount of pressure he's putting on me right now is really, really spooking me. And he's not even like spamming it like he should be, because it's just... I'm dead if he just does it. So he's putting all that pressure on me, and I don't know how to deal with it, even with a really good stability shield like I've got. It's not a great shield, but I don't exactly know how to punish it at this time, because if he just mixes up his timing, I won't be able to parry him, and the trades are not going my way, because he has pretty good counters. And we're both nervous. Alright, got the parry. There we go. He wasn't changing up his attacks. He wasn't trying to change up his attack pattern, and he was just moving in with that kind of punish. So I got lucky there and was able to parry it, because he wasn't changing his timing. So that's another thing we got to learn. See, as you grow as a player, you figure that out. I'm sure, people are going to be watching this video in the future going, why the fuck didn't you just parry it from the beginning? Why did it take you so long? Well, you know, none of us are really that good yet. I'm trying to be, you know, decent at the game and grow and learn, but there it is. But as you can see, he could do a lot of pressure on me, and he wasn't even using it that well, and he was able to do quite a bit of damage and punish pretty much every reaction I had to it, other than the parry, which I just got lucky for. I mean, I got lucky. I went up against a player who was not changing the timing of his attacks, because it was obvious that I was waiting for my opportunity to do something, either trade or parry. He wasn't paying attention, so he got killed. So that person is using the Great Shield of Glory, and I'm glad we can show this off real quick. I'm glad this was the weapon balance portion of this, because I'm never going to break this man's guard, ever. This guy's guard is going to be unbreakable. So that was a kick. That was a running attack and a kick. And we'll do another kick. Oh, I broke his guard. He doesn't have a lot of endurance. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, we got a lucky again here. A rapier user that didn't know what they were doing, and a great shield user who thought, I'll make up for the fact I have no endurance by using a great shield. And he actually didn't have the endurance for it. I have kicked great shields 4 times. I've sat around with buddies. That one in particular is one of the best. And I have... Oh, there we go. Got that punish there. He was going for a backstab, I think, but I could continually track him and not let that happen. So thank God. I'm so surprised I've run into 2 that I could just annihilate. I know everybody's just tilting their head. I thought these were OP, Dragon. You were just saying that these were OP, and what are you doing? You're killing them. I don't understand how they're OP. It's not because I'm good. It's because these people are not making the right choices. I can't believe he had so little endurance. But anybody at like 40 endurance is which is the soft cap. Anybody at 40 can just sit there and laugh at other people. I might switch to a great shield at one point just to demonstrate how good the stability is on a great shield. It's very sickening actually how good it is. But really, that's kind of all I have to say about like weapon balance. So let's talk about backstabs real quick. So as you saw in one of the fights, you can kind of whiff a backstab. That is good. I like that. That's a Dark Souls 2 thing. It's not, you know, instant like Dark Souls 1. It is good. There are some ways to bait out people's parries and other things. That was almost a parry. He almost had that. That would have been a lot of trouble for me had he actually done that, because I'm pretty sure he's Hornet Ring. Everybody's Hornet Ring. Everybody's Hornet Ring. So he's trying to take advantage of his hyper armor. I'm kind of punishing that, not letting him get into the frames of it. See if he does a rolling. I want him to do a rolling attack, because I might be able to parry that. Okay, he didn't have stamina, so he dropped his guard because I was kicking. Medium shields, they're perfect. They've got just the right amount of stability for like a kick to do damage to them. Might not even guarantee break their guard, but it's just got enough. It's got enough to do it. He's trying to get all fancy on me, and I'm just gonna keep hitting him. See right there, he's kicked me once, and even though I have a very high stability medium shield, I still kind of had to back off because I just didn't have it. I did not have the power for that one. And I'll go ahead and space him out. GG. So backstabs, they're not something that you can just immediately pivot on anymore. There's a lot of like little tricky situational stuff, but it seems like backstabs in this game, they're very punish oriented. They're very situationally oriented. Like I'm going to be punishing somebody for parrying too much, or I'm going to be punishing somebody who's spamming too much with maybe an ultra. But pivoting somebody who's using like a straight sword or a katana or a rapier is very difficult, if even doable at this point. Maybe they'll slow down animations in the future, but as it stands right now, they are almost impossible, and it scares the hell out of me, because that makes me feel like I won't be able to punish spammers as much. Setup parries are a thing, so maybe that's not true. I still have to learn the timing on some setup parries. I want to be able to look at a straight sword spammer and say, I got you, punk. I know the small shields have no problem doing it as long as they have the stability for it. I know the medium shields can do it like on the 3rd hit. It is easy to get a partial when you're doing that, so it's a risk reward kind of situation, like it always has been with you know, parries, so that's fine. But backstabs, they seem very situational. It's not as easy to just fish for one. Thankfully, I'm sure in the future there'll be something that makes it easy, or a tech that makes it easy. As it stands right now, not everybody and their brother is just fishing for backstabs like they were in the previous games, because it's very difficult to do and easy to punish in this game, as you saw with Mr. Greatshield. Mr. Greatshield did not. He was really hoping to get a backstab, and I wasn't giving it to him. So that's a neat entrance, man. That's pretty cool. All right, you ready to fight now, though, Mr. Artorias? You got your cape. What more do you need? He's got his cape. He's got his flip sword. What more do you need? What more do you need in an Souls game? He's rolling a lot. I'm guessing he was trying to use some kind of special item. I have no idea. Let's see if we can get the backstab on that. Nope, didn't get the backstab there. So in Dark Souls 2, that would have been, you know, easy backstab. Even Dark Souls 1, that would have been way backstab. But let me see if we could get it real quick. Yeah, that was the punish. So right there, he was going for a parry. I knew he was going to go for a parry, so I just went ahead and pivoted him. I got very lucky. It was the very last frame. That was not a very clean punish, but it still worked out for me, so that was pretty good. So I knew he was going to parry when he brought that shield out, and I said, nah, and we go ahead and did that. So that showed that off, and I do like the ability to do that, because parry spamming in this game can still net you rewards, as if you get a partial, it doesn't break your poise. So you do a partial and you just spam a little bit more, you might get one. So that's I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like I'm not punishing you accordingly. Even though I'm doing damage to you, you still might get that parry and one-shot me with a Super Hornet Ring, strength weapon, whatever. So it is good to know that they are stuck on an animation with the shields long enough to where I can punish that. That's good to know. So that's backstabs in a nutshell. Like as far as we are aware of them, and I don't mind them. I don't think that they're bad. I think that they work. They do a lot less damage than, say, a parry would do or a guard break would do. So obviously they're very situational, and you have to be kind of careful. This person's a little laggy. You can see from the little bit of ice skating going on. I call it ice skating, but other people just call it warping. At Dark Souls 2, it looked like ice skating, so I'm just going with that. So when you have somebody who's laggy, it's kind of, I mean, at any game, it's difficult to do anything. Like, I would normally parry somebody who is like rolling into me a lot, doing the rolling attacks, and he's up. See, that was a partial, but because of the latency, or maybe it was just the last frame of the parry, so it's still partial and got it, but he gone because of that. So you have to take that into consideration. So I out of reflex, I tried to parry his rolling attack, when in reality, probably not the best thing to do against a laggy opponent like that. The netcode in this game is a little awkward. I'm not going to comment on the netcode. I feel like I don't know enough about it. You know, double registration, single registration. A couple of other uploaders have said some conflicting things, but it seems to me that I have a better connection on this game with people than I did in Dark Souls 2, which is surprising. So it seems like the netcode is a little bit better. There is some wonky things to it, but I guess that'll, you know, we'll all figure that out, and as players be able to anticipate certain latency. I remember in Dark Souls 2, I was able to say, oh, he's that laggy, then I know I'm going to get a backstab, or I know I'm going to do that because he's that laggy. I know how to deal with this. Sometimes they were just so laggy you could just spam against them and you'd win. It depends on who it favored. So, who knows. I think this guy just did Iron Flesh. I think he did. He wants to go for that really cool grab move with the pyromancy, which is pretty cool. Magic in this game, I think that'll be one of our last topics, is magic. Now, this is a balance thing. There's a problem. There's a major problem with magic in this game, and it's not what you would think it would be. In the first games, Magic was always a little OP. And he's going for parries. So what I'm going to do is hopefully get a fish. No. He doesn't want it. He wants to put it away and hopefully trade with me with that thing. That's fine. Okay. No? You don't want to just randomly parry? Come on, randomly parry. Oh, and I screwed it up. He was right there, and I messed it up. Oh, there we go. Little pivot right there. So as you can see, like right there, that is a punish because he's stuck in an animation because he was parry spamming. So I get to get him, and that's nice to know. There it is. I got to show that off a couple of times. I'm happy with that. That dude healed on me. That guy right there, he healed on me at one point, so I'm not picking him up. You can heal in this game as an invader. I don't care. I would rather not drag out a fight forever. And it's just not fun to me to where somebody can be like parried or backstabbed or comboed into a bunch of hits and then just back up and like negate all of that by pressing square 3 times. So I'm not a fan of that. So I would rather not do that. You guys want to heal? It's your game. Do what you want. You paid money for it. I'm not going to argue with you. I just would prefer it didn't happen. So that's my little quick add to that. I don't really want to go into it too much. So Magic, there's a problem. I know I was gonna say, and I promise I'm gonna get there. Promise. I know it's a little jagged, these little conversations that we have one-sided with me while I'm playing a game. Magic in this game doesn't scale properly. Something is wrong. We don't know what's wrong, but something is wrong. At the time, we don't know what's wrong. And you were just gonna, you just gonna walk up in my face. Magic in the game seems so tight. So one of the things, and I mean frame tight. So one of the things that we were really praising about Dark Souls 3 was the hitboxes. And we were seeing instances where a player could sidestep an arrow by inches. Like just, totally I messed up a parry. Totally 100% just sidestep it. That and the daggers. And it feels to me, and this is personal opinion, it feels to me like the same problem is with Magic. Magic is very, very sidesteppable. It's easy to roll. It doesn't track very well. It doesn't have any kind of hitbox, I would say. This guy's just spamming parries. He's just spamming it, and I'm just gonna let this happen because he's gonna die to his own Chaos Blade. There you go, dead. easy win. Too good at the game. 5U. Oh my God, the memes. I know I'm not that great. Nobody's that great yet. But Magic, I don't know. It doesn't have very good tracking. It doesn't have very good damage. It doesn't have anything that you would imagine Magic to have. And I've been told Magic doesn't start scaling properly until like level 60 or something in Int. Like, really? I have to put my intelligence up to 60 before I start doing, like, decent, respectable damage? My God. But I'm sure there's some patches that are come out that are going to fix a couple of these things, because I think my biggest problem with Magic is I can't hit anyone with it, and I don't really know why. I'm looking at people, I'm trying different roles, I'm saying, okay, let's punish at different times. I got some buddies together, and I said, look, just stand here and roll when you see it, or just stand here and try to roll after I do an R1 of my straight sword and see if I can catch you and roll. Nope, can't do any of that. And we tried so many different little maneuvers and timings, and we couldn't get shit down. And it seems like such a bad thing that melee people, who we get such benefit from our stats so early on, and then Magic is just shit out of luck until some crazy ass level. And even then, if they can hit the motherfuckers, if you can hit anything you're trying to like go for, it's not even just about the damage. It's just there's such bad tracking, and you're just feeling so bad about it. I bet you're gonna parry. No, you don't want to parry. Oh, you hit me. Look, he's excited too. Oh, good parry. That's a good parry. I walked right into that one. Let's see if we can clutch this one out. But Magic in of itself, like tracking-wise, everything-wise, is just such a bother to use. And I've made both a Pyromancer and a Magic build, and both of these have just really just shit the bed damage-wise, tracking-wise, and I don't understand why yet. And I know a lot of people are having the same issue, so it's not just me being retarded. Hopefully we'll figure something out. Hopefully. And maybe I could set up parry this guy. It's probably a really bad idea, but look at you with your pivots. This guy should make the video, not me. Look at you and your pivots. Oh, he knew that was coming. He knew that was coming. He knew I was looking at it like, I'll just set up parry it. Haha, I'm too good. He knew that was coming. So I don't know. Maybe, guys, tell me what you think in the comments about Magic, because it just feels like in this particular game, Magic really needs a whole lot of work, and that's so sad. Oop, good trade. That was not economic for me. Oh, and I put my shield down. Oh no. Oh, GG. He got me. He got me with that. Swing, swing, swing away. He got me. I was not able to punish that accordingly, or I was just playing badly, probably that. He got that parry, and that just changed the whole fight. GG. Finally got me. It feels like a couple of things just need little buffs, and a couple of things need some, slowdowns. Like, I would say balance-wise, like I said before, great shields and rapiers are just so spooky, and Magic doesn't do anything. So right now the quality build is king. So using different weapons and getting different weapons together is really going to benefit you on a quality build, since you'll have so many different options, while these other builds, these hybrid builds, are just struggling so hard to get their infusions to do anything. So hopefully that'll change in the future to get a little bit more variety, build variety at least. Oh, man. So I'm not going to talk so much about the PvE. I like it. It's okay. The pacing's okay. There's some shit that I just cannot stand in it, and there's some stuff that I just absolutely love. So I don't know. Maybe I'll devote a whole video to it. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm not a PvE person. This channel isn't PvE focused. Sorry. It's very PvP focused. So we will have to see how that goes in the future. But hopefully I will show you guys some different weapons here coming up. I have a bunch of them upgraded. I know I'm using just this one right now. I want to keep it a surprise which ones I've got, and we'll see how it goes. So tell me how you guys feel about Dark Souls 3 in the meantime in the comments. I think this will be our last fight. I'm not sure. I will probably lose it. We will see. Dark Spirit, don't bully. Okay. Got ourselves a buff desktop. So hopefully this person knows how to use it, and I could show you guys what's going to happen here, because it's sad when it does happen. And see that roll catch right there, I don't 100% agree with, but it did happen. And then that, and then this. This is what you get. Get a lot of that. So, oh, bad parry. He went for the R2. I mean, the pressure they put on and the amount of attacks that they put out is just unbelievable. And I can't kick into his shield. He's already recovered and hitting me in my face. So you just get totally spammed on, and it's just a bad time for pretty much every party involved. Oh man, I just don't. I don't like this. I find it makes me both sad and I'm bored by fighting this. And then oh, no parry. See, he kind of switched it up, and he was just too fast. He was just too fast for me, and I couldn't get the parry. And maybe if it was just a split second faster, I might have gotten it. But there you go. There's an S-Stock used the way an S-Stock should be used. He was switching it up, and he just put so much pressure on me. And I don't know how to counter it other than doing the exact same thing. Switching to a Great Shield or switching to an S-Stock and just R1ing like crazy. It is very, very upsetting to see something like that. But it's boring. It's a boring play style. So I'm hoping that people won't use it all that much. I'm hoping that people will see how bad it is and how it just kind of dilutes. It makes everything in the PvP just R1, 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 R1. Like there's no real strategy to it. You just get in someone's face, R1 a lot, and that's it. That's your build. That's your play style. That's what you're doing. And I hope that's just boring enough for the community as a whole to just not do it. I'm hoping that's the hope, because it's very aggravating. It's very, very aggravating. I know I said the last fight, but I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to cover real quick? I guess I could summarize like how I feel about the game. So let's go ahead and do that. I feel like this game, above the others, has the most potential for growth. I feel like this game, as it stands right now, as the way it is, I know patches could come out that could destroy everything that I'm saying right now, but I feel like this game has a lot of potential. Dark Souls 1 people like it. Dark Souls 2 people like it. Even the very small community from Bloodborne like it. And we're all kind of coming together as a community to work on this and look at it and say, how does this work? What is this? What are you doing? How are you liking it? What's your opinion? You know, that kind of stuff that's happening. That feels good. It's very nice to see that the community is kind of coming together on that. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are excited too. PvE, I don't mind making new builds. I enjoy the PvE way more than I do the other games. That includes Dark Souls 1. It feels like the pacing's really nice. I feel like I can do something with it. There's some cool areas in the game. You know, I don't care about, you know, story stuff. I've never been that kind of person, especially with these games. I don't know, I see very atypical kind of shit. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, nothing out of the ordinary for that one. But let me see. You like to parry a whole lot. You like to parry because you know with that Hornet Ring you will one-shot me. That's a tank face with this absurd shield. And GG. Get that and get rolling. You can do a couple of roll BSs, but not on every moveset. Some movesets you just can't. So, I mean, I like this game. I like this game a lot. I want to make videos for it. I'm excited to make videos for it. I want to stream it more. I know I've been quiet the past couple of weeks. There's a couple of reasons for that, mostly life stress stuff. But I also didn't want everybody and their brother to be yelling at me about spoilers, or I didn't want to have to say the same things over again, so we're doing this. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was just some of my thoughts, some of the explanations about this game. I will be making lots of videos, hopefully. I hope I'm not lying. I will be making videos about this. I will be kind of taking requests. I want to go through the weapons as I learn them and understand them, and we'll see. Probably the washing pole will be the one that's next, even if this video kind of showcased everything it can do. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and remember, check the date. If you're still watching this and you're thinking, what an idiot, check the date. Nobody's good yet. We're all learning. Be nice. Understand this just came out and we all like know nothing, so let's try to just think for a second before you start commenting dumb shit. So, but other than that, thanks guys, and I want you all to have a good one. The Dropout Dragon is dropping out.